Okay, we have Gabby Hernandez coming up to talk about Care at Home. You may recognize her. She's the interim health services director here, and she also oversees Care at Home. So she is a busy, busy woman, and she's doing a great job. So she wanted to come and share a little bit of information, and again, we'll have questions after she's done. Welcome, Gabby.
Can anybody see me over this podium? Hi, everybody. So, like Laura said, I'm the administrator for home care here on Friendsview campus and also the interim health service director. So I wanted to talk to you a little about Friendsview's Care at Home services. So they're on-campus services only available to our residents, and we do go out to the Springbrook community. So if you live out there, we're happy to come and help you out. So the Care at Home service is for independent living, and some health service residents also sign up for the program when you need a little bit of extra assistance at home but aren't quite ready for that transition into a higher level of care. We do anything from medication management or wellness checks. Maybe, you had a fall and you're just a little bit sore. Maybe you feel some fear about taking a shower on your own because of a certain fall or a procedure that you had, and you just need that little bit of extra help, be it temporary or permanent, until you're ready to transition to that higher level. So we do offer 15-minute home helper companion. Maybe you need a little bit of extra housekeeping, or maybe you can't bend over anymore to clean out the cat litter box, or due to a knee surgery, you can no longer walk your dog. Those are all services that we can help with. Maybe you have, a Mohs procedure where it's nothing that home health needs to be involved in, but maybe it's something where, it's on your back and you can't put that Band-Aid on, right? That's something where we can even get our nurse involved to assess and make sure that we are keeping track of it and it's not getting angry and infected, and making sure that that's going well while you work with your doctor to make sure that that's healing. So yeah, we have all of those services, including light housekeeping, transportation to appointments. I know we have a Community Life that can do transportations in town, and maybe your children are readily available to take you on your appointments, but you might have an appointment that comes up where the children are out of town or your friends can't take you and you need to go out of town for an appointment. We can definitely help you with that as well. Or maybe it's weekly, you like to buy your own groceries, you don't like to order them online, and you just want to go to the grocery store weekly and you want to end up at Costco. Let's go. So we can definitely help you with those kinds of tasks. Dressing, grooming. So we have nursing services, caregiver services, companion home helper services, and I do have pamphlets here. I also have them set up downstairs by the Care at Home office, so you could always stop by and pick up a pamphlet. The cost is significantly less than if you would go to a outside Friendsview provider, a home care service, because they typically have hourly minimums. We do not have a minimum. If I have residents, even in this room, that utilize us for once a month linen change, right? Getting that pesky bottom sheet on your mattress can be hard sometimes, and we can help with that and make sure that that's done. And it's once a month. It takes less than 15 minutes, so we only charge for that. When you sign up for home care and you don't need us long term, it's okay. You don't have to utilize us. There's no commitment to a certain amount of hours. There's no commitment. There's no enrollment fee. I would just do the intake, assess what I believe the care needs would be. Sometimes, you think you're only going to use us for one specific task, like maybe a linen change, but a month down the road, something changes and you're like, oh, I have this service and I can add on to that, right? And now you know the caregivers, you know who's coming into your home, and you're getting to know them and you feel comfortable asking for more. Or maybe they start seeing something where you might need some more services. I also assess every 3 months to see if there's anything else that maybe you, as you're getting older, you don't see yourself, and having those conversations. Maybe I notice some forgetfulness that you haven't been seeing, and I like to talk about that kind of stuff, making sure that the services we provide to you in your own home also don't, since it is a separate service and the fees attach them, I would start talking to you, and I would never want to charge you more than it would cost for you to transition to maybe assisted living, where you wouldn't have those additional costs. But yeah, that's essentially what it is. I do have pamphlets. We do medication management. Maybe you're forgetting to take your pills. I know I do. So maybe you don't want me to keep reminding you. But, those kinds of things. Maybe it's a blood pressure pill and you're not feeling good. It causes a fall. I mean, it can spiral so quickly when you're struggling to do this on your own. And maybe that move isn't quite the step you're ready to take. And I can help you with that. And I would always want let everybody know that I like having those open conversations of, hey, maybe it's that time to start making those choices of moving to a higher level of care, and having staff on campus that can assess that and see those changes and make sure that we are getting ahead of it, being proactive, right? We always want it to be a choice that you're making. We never want it to be an immediate need, right? Because then that choice is limited. So, yeah, do you guys have any questions? There's so much more. I could spend an hour talking about home care.
At the present, I don't need care at home, but you said you have to sign up, and somebody said that in order to get care at home, you have to be signed up and assessed of what your needs are. Is it advisable? I don't drive, and I have Kaiser insurance, which means I do have to go to Tigard or Tualatin, and there's transportation here doesn't provide anything like that, which I understand care at home could. So is it advisable to sign up in order to be ready if that situation comes up?
If you see that being a need in the near future, like let's say you have a doctor's appointment in November, and I don't know you personally, but maybe your son, daughter typically takes you to your appointment, and you're like, hey, I have this appointment, are you guys gonna be able to take me? And they say, oh, mom, grandma, we're out of town that week, unfortunately I can't. Just thinking about that, yeah, it would be great to sign up, because then we can see, okay, yes, we can provide transportation that day, I have the caregiver available. But if you don't see the need, one of the things is that if you sign up, I would need to assess you every 6 months. So if you don't utilize the service, I have nothing to go off of to assess. So I would have to do the same intake all over again 6 months later. So if you see it as a need that you may need in the near future, I would absolutely suggest that you sign up. If you know you're having a surgery that's going to be outpatient, but you don't know how you're going to react to the anesthesia, or maybe you know that it's going to slow you down. Maybe it's a shoulder surgery where you know that you're going to have your range of motion is gonna be affected. Maybe you have that home health set up for physical therapy, occupational therapy, but you don't have, and you forget to think about this, the assistants at home. How difficult is it gonna be to make my bed? How difficult is it gonna be to take a shower on my own? And you know, just thinking through all of those things, it really helps. Because now you're being proactive. It's like, I know that even if I don't have a scheduled service, I have the availability, and we have you signed up. So it's like, oh, I've already met this person. I already know what their care needs are. And I already know what their home looks like. So I know how to help.
I can talk loud, but where do you sign up?
You would call the Care at Home number, and then one of my, since I am doing double duty, you would call the Care at Home number, and one of my caregivers would give you a call back and look at my calendar, see a few dates available, give you options of those dates, and put it on my schedule, so I know where I'm going and who I'm going to see and what we're going to talk about. Yes.
A lot of times things happen that you can't schedule, and so if you need to contact you, how much time do we have to wait to actually assess? It's not like you're one man show.
So the question was how much time it takes to get assessed depending on the need. Yes, so typically I say, like this week, I have 3 care assessments, and that's my limit, because it's a lot of time away from my office. But I would say typically a week to be assessed. So if you have the immediate needs, it's more difficult, but I do work with the social workers, so if you feel like, hey, we need this now, I can push that, but it typically takes about a week to be assessed.
Are the social workers working on in the evening or on weekends?
So no, the social workers don't work, I believe they leave around 5 or 6. And they don't work weekends, but Care at Home, if you called the Care at Home number, it is a 24/7 line, so the number does carry over to an on-call cell phone that I always carry with me.
Can I make one comment about that too? We have an answering service that is also 24/7. So if you are over the weekend or it's after hours and you call the welcome desk number, or on your landline you hit 0, it'll go to the welcome desk and it will transfer to the answering service. And they have a phone tree that they start calling with all of us who are on duty that weekend. So you should always be able to reach somebody. If you have a situation where you don't, please let me know immediately.
And I also wanted to note with, and you're thinking like emergency situations. If it's an emergency situation that you need some assistance at home, that would be more difficult for Care at Home to do, because we don't know how much help are you gonna need. Do you need 24/7 help? In those cases, I do have some outside providers that are more expensive but are more equipped to do those immediate intakes and get help 24/7 if needed. And also if it's something, you have your short stays at the health center as well, which is a whole nother topic. But, looking into that and talking to the social workers about that would be beneficial.
Do you have a fee for service schedule so that people who would maybe like to sign up or would like to have an idea of what the cost is?
Yes, so I have, during the intake, I take my fee list with me because it's variable. But the easiest way to describe it is we do as little as 15 minutes and the cost for 15 minutes is $13 or an hour for 30. So if you, let's say you have services for 45 minutes, I will bump it up to the hour cost because it'll be less expensive. But depending on what services you need, because we have a range, it's like, do you need a nurse to come see you? Do you need medication management? All of those are broken down on that list, and I do bring it with me at the intake, so it stays with you and you see what the fees would be. Also, billing wise, it goes on your Friends View bill, so it's not a separate bill that you have to track. It would, if you know you had services the previous month, if you know you had services in September, your October bill that you receive will show the services that you had in September. Anything else? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Gabby. So if you have any more questions, they'll both be at the back and grab some information. Thanks for coming.